Okay, so before we get into anything with, the fuckboy frame core principles, I think it's really important that we establish an understanding of society. You have to understand where I'm coming from, what's happening in the world, what's happening dating-wise before you can actually take proper actions, okay? And that's, like I said, what this module, the core principles module is all about, and we're gonna start this off by having this understanding, okay? So, for me, to give you guys a little quick context into how I understand this, I've gone out and I've met a lot of fucking girls. I've met a fuck ton of girls. In the past 6 years, I've been going out and I've been approaching tons of women. The first 3 years, I struggled a lot, but I've been able to sleep with a lot of women. And in doing this, I've been able to understand a lot about guys as well. A lot about how guys date girls, because the girls that I've slept with and gotten to know and dated over the years have guys in their lives. They have guys that, they're talking to and guys that they're flaking on, and I see this firsthand, right? And I was also one of the guys that gets flaked on. I mean, I occasionally still do get flakes here and there, right? But, but being the guy who's going out and taking action, you get to understand what's happening in society a little bit better, okay? So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna break down to you kind of my insights on this so that you can have a better understanding, so that when I teach the principles aspect and what you actually need to start doing, we can have a better understanding together. Okay, so the first thing is you have to understand, what standard does society set for you as a man? What's the standard does society set for you as a guy for you to fulfill? The basic thing, and this is very general, again, different societies are going to be different ways. I've grown up in American society, US of A, okay? Maybe overseas it's a little different. Maybe in Sweden it's different. Maybe in fucking Japan it's different. But I believe that just generally is the way society is. So what happens is, as a man, it's pretty much your responsibility again, with quotes around it, to get a good job and fill a provider role, essentially. To be the guy who can be a providing anchor for a woman. And this is, I'm talking about specifically through dating. There's so many different nuances to society, but this is sort of the dating role that you're supposed to fill. And what happens is you grow up in this paradigm, right? It's through parental conditioning, through school. You're taught as a man, don't show emotions. Be the guy who can fulfill this one role, the provider role. And even when you go out, and we'll talk more about this later, but you go out to a club, it's like guys tend to just fall into this role. They talk about their job. They talk about what they do for work. They talk about, things they've accomplished. They have a nice car. They think that'll get girls. Everyone thinks, money gets girls. And again, there is some truth to this. In a way, having a fuck ton of money can help you get girls, but the context of what I'm saying is a little different. So in society, you have this role. You have this role of, I am the fucking provider. I'm the guy who has the value. And for you, what does value mean? What does it mean to be valuable as a man? It means that you're the provider. It means you have a good job. You have worked so fucking hard at your craft and built your providing status up so much that you can actually be able to provide. Now, again, some guys don't traditionally fit into this role. Some guys choose to go other ways. Put one of those categories is the fuckboy frame type of guy that I'm talking about, right? Again, you don't need to be a fuckboy, but you need to, have some of those tendencies. And other guys just decide to completely bum out and don't give a shit whatsoever. And some of those guys get laid as well. I don't think that's healthy. But when you're fulfilling this role, fulfilling this provider role, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about being a lover versus provider. I'm just purely saying when you fulfill this provider role, that's not entirely healthy. You're fitting into the role that society wants you to have. And what's funny is that when you fit into this role, what's not good about it? It's because when you fit into this provider role, and it happens subconsciously because of, societal conditioning, when you fit into this role, women hold the cards with dating, right? It's like women hold the cards. You hear it all the time. You hear, you're lucky to get this girl. Right? You're lucky to get the girl. You're valuable for providing your resources. And sex is like a reward that girls give you. They give you a reward for paying them with your provider status, right? It's like you look at it, the traditional family joke, right? Like think of fucking Family Guy or anything like that. You hear the father comes home tired and he may want to get laid or something, and she's like, no, clean yourself up. Like you didn't even work this week. I'm kind of bullshitting, but the traditional father providing and hoping to get laid. You got lucky, John. You're getting lucky. Or it's like a guy gets a beautiful girl, he's lucky to get the beautiful girl. The reason why is because the only value that's attributed to the man is his providing value, right? And it's like sex is a little reward because he's providing those resources. You're lucky to get the girl. Now, it's important that when you understand this perspective, you don't come at it from a bitter frame. You don't come at it from a frame like, yeah, all these women, they're in charge. They have the power. Well, they don't have to have the power. And I'm not saying this so that you have to take the power away from the women. I'm just enlightening you to how it actually works. This is the dating marketplace. And women suffer as well, absolutely. But again, I assume most of the people watching this are going to be men. The fuckboy frame. Don't know if girls are going to be jumping on that one, but women have their own set of issues. But in this case, I'm talking about kind of I think that both sides fall short very much. But this is going to help you as a man kind of bring your side up in a way that's going to get you the success that you want, okay? And it's important that as a part of this fuckboy frame, developing yourself as a man, especially going through this course, what we're going to learn how to do together is to break these expectations. You want to break the expectations that society has set for you, because breaking out of that mold can be what helps you become attractive. Among other things, of course. We're going to get into the whole process and all that shit. Maybe you've already looked through the course and looked at what videos are in it. But you're going to have to learn how to break these expectations and not fit into the mold. Because what you'll find is that the mold is not actually what attracts women to you. We're going to get into that. The mold is not what attracts women to you. Fitting in the standard that society sets is not what makes women attracted to you. It just doesn't fucking work like that. So you are going to have to break the standard, right? And normally, here's the thing. Stagnation is the norm. Most people are just simply not happy, and most people don't have what I call peak experiences. Most people never push themselves for excellence. Most people never push themselves to reach the next point. Again, these peak experiences. Most people never fucking do that. But when you go out and you take action in your life, you've bought this course, you've taken action, this is one step. You maybe have invested in personal coaching from someone else, or if I know you and you've taken coaching with me, you've taken action in your life. And then outside of just paying for coaching, doing things on your own as well, experiencing new places, traveling to new places. Again, what I call those peak experiences. That is progression. So you want to be in a frame of progression instead of stagnation, because most people are in stagnation. Again, most guys who fit in the provider role stay in stagnation. Most guys never, ever break out of this and go into progression. Again, you see traditionally the dad who comes home exhausted from work, sits on the couch, just wants to watch TV and drink a fucking beer. Why? He's not in progression, he's in stagnation. But you, my friend, can choose progression, okay? And that's what we're gonna do on this program. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna teach you how to choose progression and how to break the fucking standard, improve yourself, and get success.